Welcome to this video, which is all about key skill for Forex trading success. What we're going to be doing today is looking at the art of thin slicing the markets. What is thin slicing? Now, thin slicing is just simply a term that is used for making very quick, snap decisions. So you make instant decisions when you look at a chart, which you'll be very confident in. Now, to thin slice the markets, you need to trust your instincts. And I also want to look in this video at why you need to trust your instincts, also how to train them so you can thin slice with confidence. And also, when you learn to trust your instincts, you're going to see things that other traders don't. And I think every great trader, trusts their instincts, and they have a degree of flexibility about their trading. I've mentioned George Soros and Ray Dalio in particular because they've openly written about it, acknowledged it in great detail, and I want to quote them as I go through this video. Now, in terms of the other quote I did on the way in, which was from a guy called Timothy Wilson, it comes from the book Strangers to Ourselves, which is all about the unconscious mind. It's a fantastic book. And when you read it, you actually see your unconscious mind in a different way. I think most people like me never really thought about how their unconscious mind works and how your gut feelings come. It's a wonderful book, and the actual title I think is very apt, Strangers to Ourselves, because it very often comes to conclusions so quickly. It doesn't tell us why it's come to that conclusion. And if you think about it, I'm sure a lot of traders have had this experience. You sit down, you look at your charts, everything seems right with your system rules, something nags you not to do the trade. You still do the trade, you lose money, and you realise your gut instinct was right. And I think in terms of your instincts, which come from your unconscious mind, I just want to give you an experiment which actually just shows how powerful it is and how quick it is and why you should trust it. Now, it was an experiment done by Stanford University I want to refer to here. And it's a very interesting experiment because what they did was they gave a group of people two decks of cards. One deck was green, one deck was blue. They told them to turn over cards from the two decks, okay? And they would win or lose money depending on the cards they turned. Now, the green deck had some big payouts in, but it had a lot of big losses in it as well, and more losses than profits. Now, the blue deck was basically mostly steady payouts with fewer losses. The group were told to tell the organisers when they noticed something about the game. By 60 cards, they'd all worked out the green deck was the one to avoid. However, they already knew by 10 cards. So how did they already know by 10 cards? What the organisers did was rig them to machines so they could measure their sweat response. The sweat response came in after 10 cards. And basically, they started to avoid the green deck, okay? So their unconscious mind was already instructing them what to do. Their conscious mind hasn't even picked it up yet. And I think that's just a fantastic experiment on, trusting the unconscious, and, it just basically works so quickly. Now, of course, in terms of our survival over the years, the unconscious mind will always save us or try and save us. You think about it, if you're walking down the street and a truck comes bearing down on you, you're not going to be thinking about moving out of the way. Unconscious mind just makes it happen. And the unconscious mind is the greatest pattern matcher out there, okay? It just effortlessly can see patterns. Now, in terms of, just want to give you a quick example. And were you, let's say, out to lunch today, or maybe you sat next to someone on the bus, can you actually bring up the face of the waitress or waiter or person sitting next to you on the bus? Yeah, you're going to be able to picture her face in great detail probably, but you didn't consciously do it, did you? When you looked at her, you didn't make a conscious decision to remember her face. And I think, what people forget about the unconscious mind is it is fantastic at finding patterns, okay? And in terms of when you're looking at charts, it can spot those subtleties in the chart, okay? I mean, let's take, for example, I trade a lot of triangle formations. Now, a triangle is a triangle, isn't it? or is it? The bars move at different speeds up and down, or they're bigger or they're smaller, and it's like a picture. When you become an instinctive trader, you can see those subtle differences. So a fantastic pattern matching computer, effectively. Now I want to just move on. Now, just give a brief introduction to the unconscious mind, to putting it to work in trading. And I'm just going to, before we discuss how to train the unconscious mind and how to thin slice the markets, just want to give you some more quotes. One is from George Soros and one is from Ray Dalio, and I'll be back in a moment to discuss them. Welcome back after those two quotes there, and I just want to go to the first one first of all with George Soros. When he gets a back pain, he knows he's got to do something in the markets. Now, think back to the card players. They started to sweat, okay? The unconscious mind will give us a physical reminder to do something. In George Soros's case, it's a back pain. Now, if you think about how your unconscious mind just basically remembers faces, it's a pattern match, isn't it? Every chart that George Soros has ever looked at will be stored in his subconscious mind. So the subconscious mind has basically told him to do something, he trusts it, okay? And he takes action. Now, Ray Dalio makes the key point that book learning is very, very different to actual real learning. It is. Of course it is. Because obviously once you get experience of something, you can feel it. And your unconscious mind, like Ray Dalio says, will just instantly come into play. That is how important the unconscious mind is in terms of trading. Now, of course, in terms of trading instincts, I'm sure a lot of people watching this video are thinking, well, that's all well and good, but I need experience to trust my instincts. And the answer is yes, you do. You're not going to come in and become a great trader overnight. You've got to feel the markets. You've got to get experience of looking at charts, seeing the subtle differences between chart formations. Now, while you need experience, there is a way of speeding up the learning curve. Now, when most traders come into Forex trading, they only study a few pairs. What I would recommend is, even if you don't trade the pairs, study as many different pairs as you can, 40 or 50. And basically learn by looking at charts and feeling them. Okay, it's the only way to learn. And I think obviously you're looking at 4 charts today, or you're looking at 40 or 50. There's a big difference in the speed of your learning curve. So if you're coming in, you want to take Forex trading seriously, you need to do that. And what you want to do also is start restricting the amount of time you have to make a decision on the chart. Keep it to just a few seconds. Thinking about a chart, in my view, is dangerous. Why? Because if you have to think about something, then you're not really confident in doing it, are you? There's no merit in basically thinking. All you're going to do is waste time. You want to be looking at charts, deciding instantly what you are going to do with them. And I think if you take Forex trading, a lot of people out there want to make it really complicated, will tell you there's rigid rules you can apply all the time and they'll work. They don't. You have to develop your trading instincts. There's no way around it. But if you put a bit of effort into it, and you keep in mind what I've said in this video, and hopefully it makes sense with the unconscious mind, then you can become an instinctive trader. You can become a very confident trader, and you'll be able to spot those subtleties in the markets that other traders don't, which can make you a lot of money. Now, just to finish off this video, I'm going to give you 3 quotes on the way out. One from Timothy Wilson, which I firmly believe, another one from Ray Dalio, and one final one. Just always keep it in mind when you're trading. There's a lot of facts that we have about the market, lots of theories, lots of indicators, a huge amount of information. Just keep in mind the 3rd quote when you come to trade, and it will keep you out of trouble. It will help you make your decisions quickly, instantly, confidently, and you'll be able to thin slice, maybe not as well as George Soros or Ray Dalio, but you can certainly improve your trading performance and make consistent gains, in my view, by training your instincts, trusting them, and thin slicing. As per usual, thank you very much for watching me. Take care. Have a good day.